Is there anybody out there? Beautiful sunny day. Is anyone coming to join me to do some art? Let's see. Hello? Anyone out there? Oh, we've got two now. Hello, Anita. Nice to see you. People are starting to pop up now. It's a beautiful sunny day out here. I wonder if you've got sunshine as well. Hello, Anita. Thank you for coming. And who else have we got? Oh, Carol. Nice to see you again. Emma. Fantastic. I think I'm going to have Jack there as well. Morwenna. Fantastic. Thank you for coming along. Do like and share even now, because that will get more people up watching. And please like and share afterwards. All the lessons we've already done are all still showing. So please do that. Do you mind if I just put some hand cream on? I've been washing my hands so much today, they've gone really dry. So come on, let's see who else is there. We'll start in a minute. Oh, I've got Michael. Hello, that's Emily. Hello, Emily. I didn't get any pictures from you yesterday, Emily. Can I have some, please? And the rest of you, if you've done any of the classes, even if it's one a few days ago, please send me photographs, because it's lovely if I can put them up. And I must admit, yesterday I got a bit busy and I didn't get them all up, so I do apologise, but I will have a go tonight. So anybody else there? Let's see. Got Pamela. Hello, Pamela. Nice to see you again. Pamela sent me some amazing pictures yesterday, because she used to do real eggs that were painted. So I'm going to put some of those up today at the end of this lesson, and you can have a look at them and see just what she used to do. They're absolutely stunning. They look like Fabergé eggs, so they're beautiful. Okay, we're up to 11. Have you got any more coming? I'm going to keep just chatting for a minute, because it's nice to everyone have a chance to get here and come and see me. I don't want to start the lesson and then have to go back again. This I've showed you sometimes before. It was done by a 13-year-old boy after just one lesson with me through Zoom. He's up in London and I'm down here in sunny Cornwall. And he did that to begin with. And then an hour and a half later he did that, because he understood. So my art lessons are nothing to do with you copying me as such. They're all to do with giving you understanding. He's also fascinated by architecture, and I showed him how to elevate a room from above like that the other day. So he's having great fun at the moment in London, designing me a new art studio by the beach. Apparently it's going to have big panoramic windows. I have no idea how I'm going to afford it, but there's a nice dream, so maybe I will get it one day, but he's doing a good job with it. Hello, Jack. Nice to see you. We'll just talk for another couple of moments and then we'll start. Today you need thick paper if possible, or card, but if you haven't, A4 paper's fine. And we need a cotton wool or cotton wool pad. So a cotton wool ball, a cotton wool pad, a lump of cotton wool, something like that, a glue stick or sellotape, and felt pens, pencils, crayons, that sort of thing again. And if you've got any bits of your sticky paper from the other day, you could hang on to those too. Hello, Jason. Nice to meet you. And let's see how many more we get. You might be an idea. I have these boxes for each of my students, and I keep all my bits for each student in one of these boxes. So maybe you could get a box together of bits and pieces we use in the art lessons, and then the next time you're coming to watch one of my art lessons, you could just bring it out, and you know it will be A4 paper, scissors. Oh, we need scissors today as well, glue stick, sellotape, that sort of thing. So nice simple things. I'm trying to make it things you're going to find around the house. And we'll just give it one more minute and then we'll start. So we officially start at past. I usually start at about 32, just to give everyone a chance to get here and get themselves settled. So these art lessons that I normally do are for all ages and abilities. What I'm doing at the moment is more like what I would call my Blue Peter shows. So I'm actually just doing fun things that you could do in half an hour. The other art lessons that I do, the ones I've been doing professionally now for 15 years with individuals and companies and things, are all about changing your outcome in a very short space of time by giving you core fundamental psychology, physiology and physics knowledge. So even by the choice of words, you know, that's very appropriate for adults. I would say anyone from about 8, 9 up, I can adjust it accordingly, and the results are phenomenal. So if you're interested in that, then you can find me here at www.artatthebeach.co.uk, and my name's Jeanni, so you can find me in any of those. Please feel free to contact me. Okay, I think we shall begin. Today we need a piece of A4 paper card. I've got this slightly thicker paper, so it's a bit like card, not just floppy paper. And we're going to take it this way again, which I'm sure you now all know is landscape. This is portrait, because that's how you'd normally do a portrait of somebody. This is the way you tend to do views, so this is called landscape. So hold your piece of paper landscape and then fold it in half. Now, I'm having a bit of a problem with the Facebook camera because it naturally puts me up backwards. So if I seem to be doing things the wrong way round, please just assume I'm not really. It's all to do with the way this camera works. And when I turned it around yesterday, I got myself in such a muddle having to come in at funny angles. I confused myself. So by tomorrow I can turn it around because I'm going to have a mirror fixed up ahead of me and I can watch myself in the mirror. But for today, just bear with me, please. So for me, this is the way the card would go, and it will open that way. If I look like I'm doing something very peculiar to you, then probably you need to be going the other way. The fold on the side that a card would normally fold on, and then we're going to draw a picture on it. Now, this is going to be an Easter card as well, and don't worry, tomorrow we're going to do something else completely. We're going much more 3D tomorrow. But I just thought, as Easter's coming, I'm sure most of you have got a few people you'd like Easter cards for. So we're going to do one more Easter card, and then we're going back on to drawing and 3D things. Now, this one, we're going to leave the bottom half of it connected together, but we're going to end up cutting the top half away afterwards. But as I've always said, we're going to draw it out lightly in pencil first. I'm going to go straight into felt pen, only so you can see what I'm doing, but you will do it in pencil. So roughly speaking, when you're doing this on yours, don't start yet, just watch for a moment. You're going to start about here with your picture and about here when we get to it, but I'll do it big so you can copy me better. And then I want the top of your picture coming up to the top, and I want the bottom of your picture to remain being that straight piece of card at the bottom. Okay, so keep in mind this time we're not cutting anything away from the bottom. Yesterday we did. We want the whole image to come right to the top and right to the two sides, and then we're going to leave this side attached. Okay, now what we're going to do on it, I've done one very quickly and it's not very good, so please don't laugh at me. But we're going to do 3-dimensional bunny rabbits holding an Easter egg, sitting in the grass. So that's the idea. And then when you open it up, you can write all your lovely messages in there. But on the back, we're going to have the back of the bunny rabbit and his fluffy tail. So this time we're doing front and back. Now, if you're using thinner paper, I would suggest that you're going to leave your cardboard connected a little bit further up to make it a little bit stronger. So the way we're going to draw the rabbit is this. Obviously, if you've got a better way of doing rabbits, you go for it. I'm just going to give you some ideas because that's what I'm always about. I don't want you to necessarily copy me. I just want you to get ideas from me. Now, I've got one here, and how we've done it is I've done 3 circles, but very, very lightly, so don't press. I did a circle here, I did a circle here, and this is up at the top of your card. So if this was your card, this would be the bottom of your card, and this in a minute is going to be the top of your card. So if you see that as your card size, quite near the top, so in the top third we're doing 2 circles, and then we're doing a 3rd circle like that. And I'm going to bring this a little bit closer so you can see a bit better. There you go. So you've got the 3 circles. Then under that, we're going to do a slightly smaller circle here, but these are very, very faint in pencil at the moment. And this is going to be your rabbit's head in a minute. underneath it, coming right the way down here, we need to do his body, and we're going to do his body quite suitably as a giant Easter egg. So we're going to come out from that little ball there and come down and do a giant Easter egg with its big fat bit going downwards. So there we go. Hello, Jack. For a minute I can't see the screen while I'm doing this. We're then going to put a very faint line in pencil like this. That's for his like leg joint bending out. So it looks almost like a giant sausage attached that's about half the height of his body, if not a little bit more. So if you can do that very lightly in pencil. Then we're going to do the same on the other side. That's his leg, his thigh joint kind of thing. And then we're going to give him huge feet. So he's going to have, there's his heel, and it's going to come up very lightly, because then you can go over the bits you want with. I'm going to give mine 3 toes. You can give them 2 toes, you can do whatever you like. It's your rabbit. But I'm giving him huge feet because I thought it made him look funny. Then I'm going to give him another huge foot like that. So my rabbit's got giant feet, and I'm just lightly going to put some pads on his feet. There you go, that's the bottom of his feet. So we've got his body, his leg joints, and then we've got his feet that look a bit like 3 fingers sticking up. Okay, now I'm just going to talk you through that again, and then I'll move on again. So we've got 3 sort of circles. These are going to make his head in a minute, and then a little circle between. Then we had a giant boiled egg with the fat bit of the boiled egg down for the Easter bunny egg. Then we put a big sausage, a great big fat sort of pork sausagey thing there on the side for both of his legs. And then we gave him absolutely giant feet, and we put little pads on. But this is all in pencil at the moment. Now, for the head, this is going to be his chin. And then we're going to go round for his cheek and up over his head, round his cheek, and then round his chin. So that's going to be the shape of his head. Thank you for all the hearts and things. That's good. It's nice to know you're out there. This bit here, the top of that circle there, that's going to become his cheek. So we're going to connect that out to the side of his face and draw it like that, like a cheek. But this is still in pencil for the moment. And then we're going to come back like that and draw in the other cheek. Now I can have some hearts and things come up when you're ready, because I know sometimes I find it very hard to judge the time when I haven't got people in front of me. So I've got a few hearts and things coming up, so I think somebody's ready. So we've got giant feet and we've got 3 circles. Right, now we're going to put his nose in, and we're going to put that just in this gap here. And we're doing it like a piece of Toblerone pointing down, like that. That's his nose. And then we'll give him a little smiley face, or we can give him a little kissy face like that, or we can give him a little smiley face like that. It's completely up to you. So give him a little mouth. This is still in pencil for the moment, and don't press too hard at this stage, because then you can change things. And we're going to do 2 great big like railway bridges, great big arch bridges there and there, and these are going to become his eyes, and they're sitting on top of those 2 cheek bits. And then into those we're going to do his eyes, and I like doing eyes with the white bit in the middle, and then come down a long way with the black, and give him an eye like that, so he really looks like he's looking at you. You don't want to black it all in, you need that little bit of white to give him character. But you're going to colour this in a minute in felt pen, so you don't need to fill it all in pencil, you just need to mark where you're going to go. And that's his other eye. Now I'm going to give him a few eyelashes just because I feel like it like that. And I'm actually going to give him a few whiskers, because rabbits have whiskers, I think, don't they? And then we've got to give him his ears. Now we want those to come right the way up near the top of your page if you can. And then you can show me that nice pink bit inside his ears as well, or her ears. I think this one looks more like a her to me. So there's the ears. And when you've done that, then if you send me some hearts and thumbs, then we'll get going again, please. So let me know when we've done those. And nobody ready yet? Let me know when you're ready. So you've got the big eyes to go in. This is in pencil still, just for the moment, just so you know where you're going to go, and then you can go into pen if you are ready. Well, don't do the pen bit yet because we've still got the arms to go in. Anybody ready yet? Or have I gone way too fast today? I do apologise if I have. Any more? Oh yeah, we're getting some thumbs up now. Right, good. We're ready? So now we're going to put in the arms, and we're going to put the arms in a little bit like a bent banana here. And I'm not going to finish it coming up, so I've got it coming out a bit further than the body, round and up, and on this side a bit further out in the body, round his hand, and then kind of up his arm like that. Oh, looks like we're catching up now, that's good. So put his arms in now. Don't join the arm up to his chin here, you can join it from his neck down and round, and then just stop it. So you're basically stopping it about there. Okay. And then last bit on this one is you're going to draw in an Easter egg. So there's the top bit of my Easter egg going in between his hands, her hands, and there's the other bit of the Easter egg going in. And then in a minute with your felt pens and things, you can decorate the Easter egg. So the bunny's holding the Easter egg in this one. Okay, looks like we've pretty much caught up. At the moment this is just in pencil. Then we're going to draw some grass around him. Now if you've got thin paper, I would have your grass up here, because that means you can colour this bit in and the card won't fall apart. The only bit that will be loose will be the top of his head. If you've got thicker card, you can let the grass be a bit further down if you like. But that's going to be the grass that he's sitting in. And you could possibly even have a couple of bits of grass just hanging around in front of him if you wanted as well here. And you could put some flowers on there if you wanted to, or you could stick some sticker flowers on, you can put sequins, you can do what you like. So, okay. And basically that's the plan. Now I'm just going to draw it all again very quickly while you do the bits in black felt pen that you need to. And if anyone's got lost, I can just show you again quickly. Only go in black felt pen over the bits that you want to show. All the other pencil lines will be rubbed out later or drawn over. So don't draw around all the lines we've drawn, just draw around the ones you need. So if you need to see it again, and to move back a bit, I'm just going to draw it again the way that I'm doing it, but you can again look up on the internet and find other ways of drawing rabbits if you like. But my way of doing it was to do 3 circles, one for the top of his head, one for the cheek, one for the other cheek, and then a little one for his chin. And then we went into a giant boiled egg here, so you can be outlining the bits you want. So this one's going to be a slightly fatter bunny rabbit. Then we're going to get the leg bit sticking out, so I'm going to do that. That's like his leg joints. And then we're going to do the bottom of his feet. Now this time maybe I'll only do it with 2 toes, so it looks a bit like a love heart. That's another option. And then I can do the pads on his feet like that. And that's our rabbit, that bit of him. This time I'm going to do the arms next, so I'm going to go around the arms before I do the face, because it doesn't really matter. I'd make his arms a bit fatter than I did that one. I think this one looks a bit thin, but it's fine. And you can put the Easter egg in his hands again. Or it could be another present if you wanted to. I suppose you don't have to give it. It could be a bunch of flowers if you'd rather give whoever a bunch of flowers or something. But the rabbit's going to be your messenger. Then I did a bit stronger where his eye's going to go, and around the edge of his face here, following around these circles, going over the top of his head, and then over the top of that cheek there, and that shows me where the eyes go. So there's one eye, and there's the other eye. Now I've left the white bit a bit big, and so he doesn't look quite right. Now he looks a bit better. Now I've filled it in a bit. So you definitely want lots of black with a little bit of white in the middle like that. And I'm going to give him some eyelashes again because I just think it looks cute, but that's me. If you did the other kind of art lessons with me, I'd tell you not to put in eyelashes, but in this I think it looks lovely. And then I'm going to give him his ears, and this time I'm going to be a bit silly, and I'm going to make one ear bend downwards, so he's sort of got a bendy ear down, and this ear maybe could go up to the top of the page like we said before, and you can see into a bit of his ear there. And then we've got to draw his nose, so you could be doing this in your colours, and his little mouth and his whiskers. And then last but not least, we're going to put some grass in the background, partly to give it a background but partly to hold the card together so it doesn't all fall apart. So there's my rabbits. Now I had a few trial runs at rabbits before the lesson, and they're a little bit scribbly, but they give you an idea. So here was another one of my rabbits, and you can see, even though I'm an artist, I often draw things 2 or 3 times lightly, and then I'd hold it to my window or my light box like I've done before, and then trace off the good one. This one looks more like a March hare, I think, but never mind. So sort your rabbit out. So basically we are now at this stage. So the next thing you're going to have to do is, if you can, you could take this over to the window and trace it. But what I'm going to suggest today is that, first of all, you can do that, or the other way you can do it is actually to cut this side of your rabbit out, because that immediately tells you then where you should be drawing your rabbit on the back. So if we hold it to the window, I'm going to hold it to my light box again, like we have before. You can see that if I hold a different sheet of paper in front of it, because I've already done that one, if I held that in front of it, it should be the back. Then if you hold it to a window, you can see clearly through where you should draw your other lines. And so if I do that with this one, I can hold it up like this and work out what the back would look like, because obviously the back won't have the face, so I'm only going to draw around the shape of his face, straight into his arms and body, out round his leg, down to his bottom, and then up the other side, round his arm, round his cheek, and then give him some ears. But remember, this is the back, so we won't be seeing exactly the same, and this one's going to have his cotton tail put on there. So there's the back of my rabbit then. So I used this picture, the first picture, and then I traced it. If that was you, you could hold it to the window and you just fold it over and look at the back. I've already done the back of this one. And then once you've done that, basically all you've got to do now is decide what colours and what patterns you want to do. Now I'm going to cut one out in front of you for anyone new. So I'm just going to draw another one on here quickly, but I'm just going to go straight into it because I've been drawing these all morning now, so I've kind of got into a swing of how to do them. So I'm going to put his cheeks on, there goes his eyes, there goes his other eye, he's got his eyelashes, he's got his whiskers, he's going to have a kissy mouth like that, he's got his ears that are coming over like this, then he's got his body that's got his arms coming in like that, and the rest of his egg coming around. Then we've got his legs and then his giant feet. And this one's not very good, but it's a very quick one, but you can see If I then took that one to the light box, you can see again what will happen if you take it to the window. So this one I hadn't already done a back, but I can do his back exactly because I can just retrace his front by the window. So if you hold it to the window, you can all do that. Then you don't have to draw him twice. When I was at art school, we were taught to use windows quite often as a light box, which is quite a simple idea. So there he is. That's his back view. Right, then if we come back here, I'm going to put the grass in on the front, which I've already done, and it could be all different lengths, but I need at least half the card connected at the side. And then we're going to cut him out. And we've talked about this before, always cut from the outside in. So make sure you leave the bottom half connected. And I'm going to start up here with his ears, and I'm going to cut out and round. Now you might like to colour it all in first, that's fine. You could cut it out at the end. It's sometimes easier to colour before you cut out. And you can either colour around his whiskers, or you can just make sure, cut around his whiskers, or you can just make sure that the whiskers stay on his face and don't go over the edge. From there, I was about to do that, but that's really bad to turn your scissors backwards. So I'm going to come out again and cut back in. It's much safer. And obviously if you're a littlie, please make sure you've got a mum, a dad, an uncle, a big brother, a big sister or something helping you with the scissors. Scissors can be very dangerous, so just take care and make sure somebody's at least watching you, even if they're not having to help you. So I've cut around the grass on that side. Now I'm going to cut through the middle of his head here, so I'm cutting in. I'm cutting across the top of his head, and then I'm turning it round and I'm going to cut in the other way. That way I'm cutting in all the time. I'm going to cut up like that past his ear, and then I'm going to cut in again. And I'm cutting down that way, and then I'm going to cut in again. And that way you often get lots of bits falling on the floor, but you just have to make sure you clear them up afterwards. But it's easier than trying to cut it all away in one go. So I'm cutting little bits out now around the grass. I'm about to cut round his face, or her face, down past the leg, and there's the rabbit. And the rabbit on the back is all there. I think it would look nice if he had a couple of bits of grass coming up over his bottom a bit, just so it's clear he's sitting in the bottom, sitting in the grass, not sitting in his bottom. Silly teacher. Right, there you go. Right, so he's sitting in the grass there. And last but not least, you need your cotton wool ball, and you can stick that on the back there with some glue or some sellotape. And if you colour him beautifully on the back and the front, then you can carefully put your writing in the middle. Now, if you're using thin paper, I suggest you write your words in pencil, because if you do it in felt pen, it might show through. On this card, it should be absolutely fine, but it should end up looking something like this. And then I'll show you the other one. There's the other one, and he got his cotton wool ball stuck on, and he's sat in the grass as well, holding an Easter egg. You could always put Easter eggs around his feet as well, or in front of his feet. You can really have fun, or it could be a bunch of flowers. As I said, here's some other ideas for them that I just did quickly. That one's quite cute. I don't know if anyone ever saw a film called The Last Mimsy. That looks a bit like The Last Mimsy, that one. And here's that one that looks a bit like the Mad Hatter's March Hare, but there we go. Right. Hello, Dina. Nice to meet you. Oh, thank you. That's really nice. They say it's a good explanation and I draw well. I have to say, those drawings, I'm sure my own children would think they're hysterical. Now, under here, I did another rabbit, another wabbit. And so this rabbit is a different version of it again. But anything that you draw, it's always best to break it down into big shapes first in pencil, and then join it all together. Now, it's really nice having all of you there. Please do like and share the programme. One of them so far has had over 4,000 views, which is fantastic. I've explained on other days, but some of you are new, I don't recognise the names, that I'm doing this for free. I normally charge for all my art lessons, and my art lessons aren't normally this sort of thing. They're kind of more full-on learning how to properly draw, do perspective and things like that. And I have decided to do this because I wanted to do my own little bit of giving something back. And I know you guys are at home, so I'm giving this free as a way of just saying my thank you. And as much as I can't do very much to help people, I hope this does. And I'd love to say it's my way of supporting the NHS. So I can't actually do anything medical, but I can do this. So it keeps people at home, it keeps them entertained. So I do hope that you're enjoying it all. And I would love to see any pictures that you do afterwards. I've seen a couple of the Easter egg cards from yesterday and they look fantastic. I might just grab one of those again and just show you for people that are new there. This was the card we did yesterday, but we've also done three-dimensional things. We've done proper drawing, we've done figures. But this was one of the cards from yesterday. We opened up the egg and there was a chicken inside. And this was the three-dimensional version where you open up the egg and the chicken had wings attached to him as well, so it looks a bit like surprise. And I love it when we draw on the inside of cards as well. I think with the rabbit one today you could always draw the back of him on there and put another pom-pom tail and then just do the writing on that one. Really, the sky's the limit. As Henry Ford said, the only limitation is your own imagination. And just before I go, talking about the NHS again and things, I hope you'll all be out there clapping tomorrow night. I know I will be. And also the other day we did do rainbows. A lot of houses have got rainbows to thank the NHS, so we did a rainbow. So I hope all your rainbows are hanging in your windows. If not, there's a lesson for that here that you can backtrack to. They're all still available. And also the other thing I heard about, which I thought was lovely, was the going on a bear hunt for children. So when they go for a walk, they can count teddy bears. So in my front window, I've got 2 teddy bears looking out. So if any little children go on a bear hunt, they can count 2 from my house. So keep those things in mind. Been lovely to see you all again. Oh, hello, Chris. I hope you're going to go off and make your bunny rabbit cards. Just in case anyone missed it, you're going to be doing 3-dimensional cards with a tail on the back for a rabbit. So there you go. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. The list for tomorrow's equipment will come up later tonight on my Facebook pages. I'm also been putting it up on LinkedIn, and I've been putting it up on some of the group pages for staying at home up on Facebook. So you should be able to find it quite easily. But if you don't see it, go to Art Jeanni. The list will be there, and then tomorrow I'll be here at 2:30 again. Lovely to see you all. Thank you. Please send me messages afterwards. Please send me photographs. It makes this all so worthwhile, because at the moment I'm standing here alone talking to an empty room, and I sometimes feel a bit strange doing it, but as long as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. Take care. Love to see you all. If anyone wants the full-on art lessons where you learn incredible amount of information in a very short space of time, then give me email me, phone me, whatever you like. But that was typical of a 3-hour lesson with a 10-year-old girl when she wasn't copying me but understanding. This was a 90-year-old after only 5 lessons, 50-year-old lady from Germany after 4 lessons, 3 lessons, a 40-year-old Sri Lankan man. It's very different. I've used it with things like Discovery Channel, the neuroscientist, Oxford University. Whatever you think it is, it won't be that. It's a completely different way of teaching, and it's not like what I'm doing now. It's something very different, but this is just a bit of fun. Lovely to see you all. Hello, Helen. Thank you for the thank you, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Be safe, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.